you've started before this year.
Yeah.
But how has it been now kind of being officially the guy?
Yeah, I think, with this O-line group especially, it's pretty cool because we're all on the same level. We all kind of we're all generally the same age, and we all kind of know what's going on and who's going to be playing throughout the game, and we can trust any of the guys that are not playing to come in and easily just step in.
Are you comfortable out there at right tackle? Is that
I personally, I've always played right tackle throughout my entire career, but throughout here I've played some guard, played some left tackle, and so. But I personally, I like right tackle more. It's more kind of my hips are kind of opened up that way, so it kind of makes it more natural for me. But yeah.
How fun has it been part of this offense so far this season, and just kind of watching Sawyer do his thing?
Oh, it's been pretty sweet. Sawyer's been ripping it, and so he's been dicing up the defenses. I think along with us in the O-line, we've kind of been struggling in the run game wise, but I think this week is going to be a pretty good week to figure out those missing pieces and establish a strong run game.
What are some of those things you can work on to improve the run game moving forward?
I think right now we're really focusing on really good double teams, and that's been a big core emphasis by Coach Miller and Coach Watts, and that's been something that we've influenced today within drill work, and I think that's going to be pretty crucial for us to make an impact in the run game.
Did y'all make the necessary adjustments that you kind of felt like going from Auburn into SMU?
I think so. Yeah, I think we like you said, the personnel was a little different because Auburn had some guys over there that were exceptionally really good, and I thought SMU also had some really good players, but I think playing those guys and getting a feel for Auburn's guys kind of gave the offense more of a confidence, kind of we can do. I'm sorry.
Kaden, you guys obviously played together some back in the day. What was that like having Colton out there with you?
Oh, it was pretty sweet. I think we dream of moments like that. When we were kids, we used to always talk about playing college football together, and that's something that really did come true. And we played a little bit together in the Auburn game, that first drive, but getting the full half was pretty sweet. My parents were pretty happy, and my dad told me he cried, so it was fun. But yeah.
He played pretty well too. I mean,
yeah.
Has he surprised you with how quickly he's picked up all the techniques and stuff?
He's got it. He's going to be really good. I think he's a really talented. You talking about Colton, brother? Yeah. He's just natural. He has a natural ability to block people, and so I think and you can ask any of the offensive linemen, he's able to just kind of roll in there. Ever since I'm biased. Ever since the spring, I feel like that when he came in, and at 24, he's been able to just kind of roll with the punches and play exceptionally well.
Is he more natural at center? Or
I think he is more natural at center. Yeah. I think he can play guard. He played a good amount of guard in high school, right. But at center, I think he's learned a lot from Colton Price too, and that's been really cool to see him kind of take him under his wing, because I don't play center. I don't know how to those types of mechanics of blocking, but it's been Colton's grabbed a lot of knowledge from the other Colton in the O-line room.
You kind of talked about this earlier, but how much will playing Auburn and SMU out of the gate really help you guys as the Big 12 play starts?
I think it's going to be pretty huge. I don't think we're going to see anyone else like those Auburn guys, like Keldrick. He was a challenge, and I think you could see that he was giving us some trouble, and I think his watching the film back on that and kind of getting a feel for him, I think that's that talent from SMU and Auburn is going to make us a lot better throughout the Big 12.
How rewarding was that drive in the second overtime where you're just running the ball and they knew what you were doing?
Yeah.
You still were able to
wanted to score there, really did. Right. But that was cool because I don't think we threw it one time on that drive, but we were getting some good push, and I think you could kind of feel them in a way. They're we lost, but it was kind of cool to really drive the ball down and get Connor in to score.
Did it feel like y'all were kind of wearing them out as the game went on? Early on it felt like they were getting some push up front and getting some stops and stuffing some of those runs, but as the game wore on, it kind of felt like y'all were getting more.
Yeah, I think, scheme-wise, Miller did a really good job of adjusting throughout that entire kind of that second quarter. I think we started kind of moving a little bit faster in that third quarter. We started, I don't know, I really don't know exactly what happened, but I think we started running more. Scheme-wise, we ran some different things, and that helped a lot with our push. You know what I mean? out of that.
You've played a lot of games over at McLean.
Yes, sir.
That Auburn one, it was full, it was blackout, all
Yeah.
that. But just what's that like? That stadium like when it's full?
It's electric. It's really cool. That Auburn game was, in the helmets itself was just so cool. We all looked pretty sweet. I think the fans have brought a really good energy, especially at the SMU game. They showed out, and it felt like half the stadium was Baylor fans, and they were like, it was really loud during some SMU offensive plays, and so I think the fans have been pretty sweet for us.
How much fun has it been to watch the pass catchers on this team and just all the talent out there?
The past two?
The pass catchers, the receivers, the tight ends.
They're balling out. They're having, I mean, it looks like they're having a great season so far. Sawyer's been throwing for 400 yards or whatever, and so I think watching those guys be athletes out there, make plays, watching Ashton jump like 50 inches. It's pretty sweet to watch. It's fun to watch those guys just be athletes.
You kind of touched on it. How important is this week and this game for setting you up for the rest of the season?
Yeah, I think Coach Aranda made a really big emphasis on it on our team meeting this morning. Is just to stay focused and stay driven throughout practice, because as we know, it's Samford. It's not an Auburn or anything like that. And so I think for us, we just really want to focus on staying like tunnel vision. We're not going to be thinking about like, oh, it's Samford. We're going to think like we're thinking we're playing Auburn right now.
Samford, I know Coach Miller specifically has
knows,
some connection.
yeah.
Has he talked about that at all? Have you brought it up?
Yeah, he's talked about it a little bit. He played with that guy. I don't know if he played with him in college. Did he play with him in college?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. He said that coach, he makes him play really hard, and that's what we expect. We've seen some film on him already, and they do play hard, and I'm excited to play against guys like that give 100% every play.
You said it felt good on the kick. I mean, you got hit pretty good on that return. Talk about that.
Yeah, they've done it before, like cross kick, and obviously Cole is a very dynamic returner, and so my job is just block for him and do the best we can. But saw a different kind of stance, and he kicked it our way, and then possessed the ball, get vertical, and then got a little pop on the sideline, but it's nothing we can't handle, so it's all good.
What's it like to lead block for Cole on those kickoffs?
Oh, it's awesome. It's just really cool to have a guy back there where it's like every single time there's a chance that he's going to take it back. And so got the opportunity to play with Richard Reese 2 years ago, Jamal Bell last year, and Cole Wilson. So every single time they kick it off, we know that if we do our job, then they're going to handle the rest. So just very encouraging to know that if you do your job, it's got a chance to score.
You're a former walk-on, right?
Yes, sir.
What's it like to see Jacob Redding kind of do what he did and kind of emerge like he is?
Yeah, I'm just so proud of Jacob. So we kind of had like all the walk-on safeties in a row, and so Jacob was the year under me, and so just to kind of go through all the things with him and a chance to like mentor him, he's just such a great friend. I've seen him work really hard and go through the really hard times, and just to see him shine on Saturday was just so cool to see. So I'm really proud of him.
What is it about Baylor? It seems like you kind of embrace the walk-on, Josh and Keaton and all that. What is it about this school that does that?
I think first I would just say I think David Wetzel does a great job. Like he was the one that brought me in, brought Jacob Redding in, brought Josh Cameron in. So he does a great job of finding the right people and finding the right fits. And so just super honored that he thought of us to be here. And then also I think the culture that we built here at Baylor, like Coach Aranda, it's like we're never going to be necessarily the top dogs, but just that mindset of hey, like we have. Like all we got is all we need, and so it's just like whatever we need to do to win, that's what we're going to do. And I think that's the mindset this team's embodied, and I'm just excited to see where it takes us.
Michael, what did you see from the defense in the second half? Because first half was a struggle, but they really played. I mean, there were stops in the second half.
Yeah, I think just fight, the character really showed up, and, Devin Bobby, Keaton Thomas, like whatever happened on the previous series, it was like, all right, like what's next? It's like whatever it takes this next drive. And so it was really cool to see just the response to adversity, and that's something that doesn't just show up on a Saturday, that's built all the way back in January with Coach Vic in the weight room. And so I was just really proud of them because whatever, came in our way, they just attacked everything that was there. And it was really cool to see them step up like that at the end.
How's kind of the energy been these last couple of days following a win like that?
Yeah, it's been good. I was just talking to John. It's like the margin between winning and losing is so small, and so that game could have gone many different ways, but it's obviously a lot better to be on the winning side of that. But we also understand that like we did not play anywhere near our best, right? So you got to enjoy it, and then you got to reset and say, all right, we're back to work, and we got a lot of things that we can improve on, and we need to put on display this Saturday.
Defense gave up a couple big chunk plays, 75-yard touchdowns twice. I guess what sort of emphasis has been on stopping maybe just explosive plays in general, and how are you going about doing that?
Yeah, I think a big emphasis was just the details, right? It's the little things that matter. And so whether that's, your eye progression, whether that's, on scramble drill or honestly just some missed assignments. And so for us, it's like, all right, going back to the basics, doing simple better, and just being really dialed into everything that we do. And when all 11 of us are doing our jobs and doing our 111th, like we know that we're a very good defense. And so it's just back to, hey, like we can't beat ourselves, right? We have to let them beat us. And so the big emphasis this week is like, if we're all doing our jobs, then we're going to be just fine.
How much fun has it been to watch the offense these past couple of weeks?
Oh, it's been a blast. Yeah, it's really cool to see how explosive they are and just how well they work together, like seeing Spav and Sawyer and the relationship they have, and then all the receivers as well. It's just been really cool to see them. I'm with them over there too in practice sometimes, and those guys are explosive. So it's really cool to see them get out there and succeed against the teams that we've been playing.
On kick coverage, kickoffs, is there things that have been implemented over the past couple of weeks, especially after the Auburn game, that are going to assist in helping prevent some of those larger plays on those kickoffs?
Yeah, I think it's kind of similar to defense. It's, to be honest, it's really nothing extreme or nothing that was like really needed fixing schematically. It was just, hey, like guys didn't do their jobs, and we had missed assignments on some of those plays. And so it's like we know exactly what we need to do. We just got to go out there and execute. And so really honing in on the details and really learning how to play the technique better on all phases of special teams is something we've been emphasizing a lot this week.
Michael, you've played in some big stadiums. Back in the day, you probably went to some at A&M. I don't know.
Yeah.
What is this stadium like, though, when it's just lit and you just...
Yeah, it's really cool. That Auburn game was a really cool experience, and obviously it didn't end the way we wanted to. But I've kind of been here for the whole trajectory of 2022, 2023. I've been a lot of highs and lows, and the stadium has been empty. The stadium has been packed, and so it's just really cool to have a product on the field that the fans and the community is happy about and excited to be at. And so there's nothing better than McLean when it's rocking on a Saturday night. So.
Playing Auburn and SMU right out of the gates, how much will that help y'all as conference play kind of gets here?
Yeah, I think it'll be huge. It's something we've talked about a lot. A lot of teams have different approaches when they play their non-conference games, but for us, like there was no easing into the season. We had to be at our best right away, and I think that's going to help us a lot when it comes to conference play because we've been battle tested and we understand the things that we need to fix. Then we have some time before conference play to get those adjusted and ready to go before Big 12 play starts.
I'm guessing your mindset is just on this season. Have you thought about beyond this, what your plans are, or what will it be after the season when you make any kind of decision?
Yeah, that's a great question. So kind of in the summer I was thinking about that a little bit and trying to plan ahead, but man, once August hit, it was just be where your feet are, so trying to make the most of whatever role and opportunity I have this season and then confident that God will take care of the rest.
I know you're close to Sawyer. What's it like seeing him have the start that he is?
Yeah, just so proud of him, so happy for him. Like I just said, we've been there for a lot of it. 2023 when, he wasn't named the starter and then, maybe struggled in 2024. Just to see his approach never waver, after all that he's been through in his career, not a guy that's more deserving. And just the thing that I'm most proud of him is how he's handled success. A lot of people, it may change them, but Sawyer's the same guy every single day. And so he deserves all the good that's coming to him.
In those maybe some low moments, I guess, what did you do? What did you do together to kind of get through some of those?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing was just leaning on our faith, leaning on our faith and leaning on our friendship. And, we have an understanding that this is not the end-all be-all. But I do remember a specific conversation, like it was in 2024 after fall camp, and we were walking from the facility to, our cars, and it was just like, man, he was, kind of a rough point. It's like, dude, like, you just never know, right? Like something may happen, you might get an opportunity, and just take it day by day and week by week, and we're just going to see how this thing goes. And then to see him have the year that he had that year and just build into this year, like couldn't write up any better. So I'm really proud of him.
How cool has it been to see the team Bible study continue to grow?
Man, that's probably been one of the coolest things that I've done here at Baylor. And so just so proud of those guys. We usually have at least 25 to 35 guys every Tuesday night. So we got our second meeting here tonight and had a lot of guys get baptized the past, year and a half, 2 years. And so just back to what I said, it's like that's what it's all about, and so that's the community, that's the faith aspect of it. And so I'm just so proud of those guys for, their values and what their priorities. And so it's really cool to see those guys show up and just grow in the Word together every Tuesday.
Just for how did that start?
So me and Garrison Grimes had kind of talked about it in 2024, something we wanted to do. We met a lot just individually in smaller groups, but it's like, man, we needed like a player-led one where it was just the guys. And so we kind of started something up in the spring, and then it's just grown every semester. And so now we have 25, 35 guys every week. And a great way to incentivize the linemen to go is that we bring food. And so the best way to get 300-pounders to show up to Bible study is bringing. So we have Chewies tonight. So that's been a big way to grow it as well.